Kevin, thanks. Away we go. It's Game 3 in the Bronx. Happy to have you with us tonight on FS1. It is a chilly night at Yankee Stadium. This matchup of the Houston Astros and the New York Yankees. Astros up 2-0. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. We'll take the Yankees side first. They come back home down 2-0. We've been talking so much about the baby bombers. We've heard a lot about that all season long, but it's no baby bomber tonight that they're counting on. It's the veteran CC Sabathia. Maybe no better guy than they could be giving the ball to here tonight.
Absolutely. He's not the CC Sabathia of 96 miles an hour, but he's crafty, and he's been in every situation imaginable. When the team loses in the regular season, he's been 9-0, and that's a great record to have. CC's going to have to navigate through this great lineup that the Astros have, and it's going to start with the middle infielders. He must control them because they have controlled the series.
You look at the numbers, I mean, yeah, Altuve, Correa, and Correa, the 23-year-old, has knocked in the game-winning run in each of the first 2 games of this series. Now, on the other side, you've got a Yankee lineup that is depending on a couple of those baby bombers. They're going to live or die with Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez. They need to make more contact, or the Yankees are obviously in big trouble.
The philosophy of baseball meets the postseason, and the philosophy has been always home runs, strikeouts. Well, that's coming to bite them a little bit. 1 for 14, these 2 great sluggers have struggled, but at home, they've been much better. Nobody hit more home runs at home than Aaron Judge, and no team hit more home runs at home, so maybe home sweet home will get that offense going.
Well, we can't wait. It's going to be fun. As I said, a chilly night in New York. We're in the Bronx, Yankee Stadium for Game 3, the Astros and the Yankees.
Sometimes the difference between victory and defeat can be measured in inches. The best laid plans ruined in an instant if even the slightest of measurements is off. The Yankees came up just short in Houston, but returned home to construct their latest comeback. Tonight, with all of his tools, their master craftsman takes the mound, ready to lead the way to victory. It's Game 3 of the ALCS.
Recap for you. Game 1, it was Dallas Keuchel who went 7, struck out 10. Didn't allow any runs thanks to a good defensive play out in left by Marwin Gonzalez. Game 2, the headline grabber Justin Verlander. He went all 9. Struck out 13. Good defensive play by the Astros. And a poor defensive play by the Yankees as the game-winning run came in to score in the bottom of the 9th. And on a 57-degree night, we get ready for Game 3. And the matchup between CC Sabathia and Charlie Morton. Let's go down to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. During the regular season, Aaron Judge saw 32% breaking balls. Now that's a lot, but it's nothing compared to the steady diet he has seen in the postseason. 54%, including 58% from the Houston Astros, and he's hitting $150 off those sliders and curveballs. Well, tonight, he's not getting off the diet. Houston starter Charlie Morton has the fastest spinning curveball in baseball, the 4th toughest to hit. Houston's game plan against the American League home run champion, well, it's familiar by now to Aaron Judge. Spin is in. For more on the Astros pitching plans, here's Ken Rosenthal.
Tom, the biggest challenge for A.J. Hinch tonight will be deciding whether to use Brad Peacock out of the bullpen. If Peacock so much as warms up, he will be out of the equation to start Game 4, and Lance McCullers will get the nod. Joe Musgrove likely will be the first out of the Astros pen, and Hinch will have other options. But Peacock used his devastating slider to hold right-handed hitters to a 173 batting average during the regular season. In the right matchup, with the game on the line, he might be too tempting for Hinch to pass up.
Guys, thanks. We get ready for the first pitch as the Yankees take the field. There's big Aaron Judge out to his familiar spot in right. And we'll give you a look at the starting lineup for the Houston Astros, brought to you by State Farm. Little different look tonight for Game 3. Same at the top with George Springer. And against the left-hander, it's Alex Bregman up in the number 2 spot, where he hit against the Red Sox in the division series. Then it's Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa, the 3-4 combo. The infield combination up the middle. How good have they been? Then Yuli Gurriel, he's been great. Evan Gattis gets his first start of this ALCS. Marwin Gonzalez is at first base tonight. Josh Reddick is batting in the 8th spot. He's in right. And Cameron Maybin is batting in the 9th position. He will play left. There's Jose Altuve, who will walk to the plate hitting .565 this postseason. Couple of no decisions so far this postseason for Sabathia, but as we said at the end of Game 2, John, matched up a couple of times with Kluber. He was fantastic in the division series. Didn't go deep into games, but they don't need that because their bullpen is so good and so deep.
Yeah, absolutely. CC of old would have thought about taking the ball and going all 9, but he understands the role now is simply go through the lineup twice and not allow a big inning. He, along with the Yankees, it just seems like the guys behind him feel so comfortable when he's on the mound. Big imposing guy is going to have to throw a lot of different pitches to get through this lineup.
Now the forward keys to the game as George Springer gets to the plate and starts to dig his way in.
Yeah, Hardway would say this. Outfield production. That's not something we would say normally with the Astros, but they have 0 hits so far out of their outfield. 0 for 21. So that is a key. And then start them up early for the Yankees. Get the lead, turn it to the bullpen, and find a way to get leadoff hitters on base.
Here's Springer. Bregman, Altuve will follow against Sabathia. Glad you're with us on FS1. First pitch swinging. Frazier was ready to go. 1 pitch, 1 out. So you know that Frazier's playing third. Mr. Jersey. Todd Frazier. Brett Gardner's out in left. Aaron Hicks is in center and Aaron Judge in right. Frazier, who is really kind of a spirit leader on this team for the Yankees, with Gregoria, Starlin Castro, Greg Bird on the infield. Gary Sanchez behind the plate. And now Sabathia will deal with Bregman. Alex batting in the 2 spot. He's hit 8th each of the first 2 games. Takes a strike.
What CC does so well is he'll throw in and out with fastballs. And again, sinking in a little bit. but his slider is going to be the key. He throws a lot of sliders. He was successful against the Indians with a slider. He'll occasionally throw a dead fish fastball or a changeup version.
Well, he's a big-bodied guy, Sabathia. He's 6'6", 300 pounds. A free agent to be, and we'll get into some of that if time allows with Ken Rosenthal. He hides the ball extremely well behind that big frame. 1-1 pitch. Inside corner, strike 2.
And that's what he'll have to do. He'll have to go in, out, and then once he gets 2 strikes, spin it that back foot slider to right-handed hitters of the Astros.
Off the hands and back to the screen. Bregman hit 2 home runs in the division series. Number 2 overall pick in 2015. When he went deep in the ALDS, it was twice against Chris Sale, the lefty. Much better against left-handed pitching. 1-2. Spoils it.
You know, the Astros in the last series really got going early, scored in every first inning against the Red Sox and got their leadoff hitter on. During the year, they were .291. This postseason, they're .292, so they're right on that mark. But against the Yankees, they have yet to get their leadoff hitter on in any inning.
2-2. Astros have scored first in all 6 of their previous postseason games this year. Now it's full count. It's been a good at bat here for Bregman after falling in the hole early.
And like I said, CC knows that every hitter is like a 9th inning hitter he's going to be facing, meaning he realizes the importance of really getting through the lineup 1.5, 2 times, turning over the game to the bullpen with the lead ideally.
Struck him out, 2 gone. Bregman may have chased a pitch that was up. Gary Cedarstrom is the home plate umpire, and he's the crew chief. Chris Guccione is at first with Jerry Meals at second. Jim Reynolds at third. Mark Carlson is in left, and Hunter Wendelstedt down the right field line. Chad Fairchild is in the city looking at any replay reviews we may have, and no doubt that pitch was up.
Yep.
Now Altuve. No first pitch fastball to Mr. Altuve. I don't think you would ever throw him a first pitch fastball.
No reason to. I mean, that's one of the things that you know coming up facing this guy. He's ready to hit from the on deck circle to the batter's box.
Good pitch from Sabathia. 1 ball, 1 strike.
CC in a short kind of example size has been pretty good against Altuve. And by mean 333 is pretty good. Holding below his average.
Catches the outside part for strike 2. Sabathia and Morton will take that for a strike all night. Good start, Sabathia. Bottom of the first in the Bronx. No score. No changes for Joe Girardi here for Game 3. State Farm lineup for the Yankees. Brett Gardner leads off, then Aaron Judge and Didi Gregorius. Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, and Starlin Castro in the middle. Aaron Hicks, Todd Frazier, and Chase Headley the bottom three. Same as the look in Game 2. I think one thing Joe Girardi wants to avoid is looking like there's any panic with him putting a lineup together. Here's the right-hander Charlie Morton. Eyebrows were raised when the Astros signed Morton, kind of a knock-around guy, to a 2-year, $14 million deal. Morton and the Astros had the last laugh on that.
Well, he's completely changed if you think about how his philosophy of pitching used to be. Contact, sinkers, ground balls. He still gives up ground balls, but you're going to see 96, 97 now. Four-seam, curveball, little split, cutter. Looking for strikeouts now.
Gardner takes way high for ball 1.
Now, if Morton gets in trouble, it's because the curveball's not turning what I call turning the corner, and that sinker slash four-seamer he gets underneath and doesn't trust the late life movement, and it turns into lateral over the plate movement.
There's a strike at 97 to show that good velocity.
I mentioned that the Astros have not gotten their leadoff hitter on. It hasn't been with a hit. They've had a couple walks to get on. The only hit the leadoff batters have gotten in this series has been Greg Bird in the 5th inning, Game 1. Yankees, that is.
Well, when you think about this series, we came in talking about offense, offense, offense. The top 2 run-producing teams in baseball this year, and it's been pitching, pitching, pitching so far. Counts 2-1 on Gardner. Two and 2. Morton was a 3rd-round pick by the Atlanta Braves. You look at where these two teams ranked offensively, and it's been a different story. Those are the total runs so far in this series. Morton made his name with the Pirates in this first of a 2-year deal with Houston. A 14-game winner.
And this is what Gardner does better than anybody in the lineup for the Yankees, is he will make a pitcher with fastballs work by fouling, looking for a mediocre pitch over the middle, meaning a pitch that doesn't have the corner, and he can utilize that with a power to right field. Down and in, he likes. Middle in, he likes.
'98, but fouled back from Gardner. 2 for 7 in this ALCS. Had a good year. Hit 21 home runs. Stole 23 bases.
And he's the reason Matt Holliday's got to grow out his hair. They had a wager, whoever hit most home runs, the loser would have to grow out their hair. So Matt is growing out his hair. Like me, it's going to take a long time.
2-2 the count, and Morton wants to think about it. Brett Gardner, meanwhile, has one of the all-time great jaw lines in the history of professional sports. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Nasty breaking ball down and in, and Morton starts his night with a strikeout. And now Aaron Judge, who popped 52 home runs during the regular season. He's got 1 this postseason.
Yeah, and you can see how the league was attacking him for the most part. There's not many places to go. It's up and away or down and away, and they have done an unbelievable job down and away. You can see what it's been on the series, both ALDS and ALCS. It has been a slow go so far.
This place would shake if he connected with one. There's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball to Judge, who has seen a ton of pitches, over 5 pitches per plate appearance. .34 of his 53 home runs this season came here at Yankee Stadium. 2 fastballs for strikes, and that one at 99.
And there's not a whole lot any hitter's going to do with that. That is an outstanding pitch, and certainly the way they've pitched him with a lot of breaking balls early, you would think that there's a little bit of thinking going on by Judge trying to detect spin.
Struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the night for Morton.
And what you want to do as a staff is you want to do nothing to upset the apple cart, meaning you're having success, so stay with that success. And right now they're slicing up Aaron Judge. There's not a whole lot with that movement. You don't want that pitch. Maybe if you're guessing you might have that pitch, but then a tight slider. And that slash cutter is really good off of those fastballs.
That's now 20 strikeouts this postseason for Aaron Judge. Here's Gregorius. Why not? If it's fair, it's a hit. It's a hit as they play Gregorius to pull. Just perfection by Didi Gregorius, a 2-out bunt single.
And most mistakes are made by these type of hitters by thinking you have to make a perfect bunt. Now, hey, that was a perfect bunt, but it was a tough pitch to bunt. All you got to do is get it fair. And see how he almost looks like a sacrifice type approach? You could sit there and talk to whoever is trying to field that ball and say, you're not getting me. That's what the shift is. That's how you counteract it. Why not? Good job by Didi.
Gregorius popped 25 home runs during the regular season, has 3 more in the postseason, but he's on with a bunt hit. And now after the strikeout of Judge, the other young gun for the Yankees, Gary Sanchez, looks for his first ALCS hit. Got him, picked him off. Gregorius with a bunt hit. And we'll see if the Yankees want to challenge it. Gregorius says, no, don't bother, I was out. He got stuck. He got stuck in the mud. There will be no challenge. There has been 1 inning. The Astros and Yankees, no score. The ALCS on FS1 is presented by Camping World, America's #1 RV retailer since 1966. And is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by the 2017 Lincoln MKX. Second inning now. And for Houston, it will be Correa, Gurriel, Gaddis. Strike one at 90 from Sabathia to the 23-year-old stud shortstop Carlos Correa, who has the game-winning RBI in each of the first 2 games. That's strike 2. Looks like Sabathia is able to hit his spots here early. Remember, he struck out 9 in 4 1/3 his last time out, game 5 against Cleveland.
CC's got good numbers against this lineup. He didn't face him this year, but last year he did. An overall 191 average. He's given up 3 home runs against the Houston Astros, active players. And you can already see what he's trying to do. Establish in, open up away, mix and match.
Sanchez sets up inside and Correa is jammed. Let's go back to the pickoff of Didi Gregorius. He kind of stuck the landing.
Yeah, he goes in and then his hand just sticks and doesn't get to the bag. Third pickoff on the year for Charlie Morton. Right-handers don't usually pick a lot of guys off. All you're trying to do is keep them close, change the time on what you throw.
Dangerous foul ball into the seats. And they've had enough of that here at Yankee Stadium this year. Caught that guy in the green coat on his way in on this chilly night. So Correa, Gurriel, Gaddis. Another 1-2. 2-2.
Well, speaking of dangerous, this guy would be dangerous anywhere he plays, Correa, but he would be especially dangerous in this ballpark. He can go to right field with the best of them with power. That's why you got to pitch him in. You got to hope to not leave something out over the middle of the plate. His power speaks to all parts of the park.
Again in on the hands.
The Astros as a team, I know I have found this hard to believe, but they score more runs on the road and hit for a better average on the road. They play in a very batter-friendly ballpark at Minute Maid.
Struck him out. That's 3 in a row for Sabathia. 1 out in the second.
CC is carving up early a team that's hard to strike out. I mean, they didn't have many strikeouts coming into this on the series, and right away CC has been able to get 3 of the first 4, 9 coming into this game as a team total. It's why the Astros are so difficult 1 through 9 to navigate for a pitcher.
Now Gurriel, the DH, been at first base each of the first 2 games and flies one into left center. Back is Hicks. Big swing, but out number 2. Our Volkswagen Atlas road to the postseason. We give it to you for CC Sabathia. He is tough in this ballpark. Here at home in his career with the Yankees, you see his winning percentage, and the ERA is just over 3.5. 10 starts since he came back from the disabled list in mid-August with that inflammation in his right knee. Something John talked about at the beginning of the night. 1.83 ERA and a 9-0 record in games he has started. 12 of them after a Yankee loss this season. Ball 1 inside to Evan Gaddis.
I have to be a little bit careful with Evan Gaddis. He is so much better against velocity below 94 miles an hour, and certainly a lot of power from the right side.
Kind of a unique approach with that bat horizontal to the ground, just laid flat across his back as he waits for a pitch. And he has taken Sabathia deep, 1 for 3.
Yeah, last year worked him to a 3-2 count. CC came in with a fastball and he went towards the train tracks with it.
That's foul. He broke his bat. So the Astros team plane will be just a little lighter when they head back to Houston. They're down 1 bat so far in this LCS.
Yeah, and the Yankees are hoping that many more to follow. Against left-handers, Gaddis really does like it more out over the plate. Not as much plate coverage. And he will chase up, but up primarily against right-handed hitters, or right-handed pitchers, sorry.
You see Gaddis, no batting gloves. They grab a bat basically right out of the factory and hand it to him. Unfinished handle. Kind of likes that raw feel. And now after the count went to 2-0, it's 2-2.
Feel like he could squeeze the sawdust out of the handle if he wanted to.
Sabathia is making his 21st career postseason start. A guy who was the ALCS MVP back in 2009 for Joe Girardi. He was in his 2nd year managing the Yankees. And they beat the Angels on their way to a World Championship over Philly. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball is fouled away. Gaddis is a unique story. As this game unfolds and we can settle in, hopefully we'll get to it. Either Tom or Kenny can talk about the path that has brought Evan Gaddis to this spot. A road rarely traveled. 3-2 pitch. 2 out 1.
He chased up early, but he'll chase more. Like I said, against right-handed pitchers, was able to lay off that fastball.
Keeps the inning going for Marwin Gonzalez. A far better left-handed batter, both in production, power, and average. Yeah, overall this postseason hitting 144.
Yeah, you're right. He has more holes batting right-handed. You go down below the zone, and you can go up and in when he's batting right-handed.
And at the knees, strike 1. There are the numbers, lefty righty. First 2 games in left field defensively, tonight at first. Breaking ball of beauty, strike 2.
What CC does is start that ball. It looks like a ball outside. He has a slower version of what average velocity sliders are. In other words, Major League Baseball average slider is 84 to 85 miles an hour. CC's more like a curveball speed, 79. And because you mentioned, Joe, he does hide it behind that big frame. They're seeing a pitch that looks like it's in the other batter's box, and he can backdoor it for a strike.
On 3 pitches. Sabathia struck out 4. Crowd alive here at Yankee Stadium, bottom of the 2nd, no score. The ALCS presented by Camping World on FS1.
Camping World.
Camping World. It's 1966. Charlie Morton back to work. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Yankees. Gary Sanchez was at the plate when Gregorius was picked off, and this one an easy play for Springer. Now 0 for 8 in this series is Sanchez. It'll bring in Greg Bird.
And a little bit of change, and I like it. He had been taking a lot of first pitches, and so he made probably a determined point to go up there and see the first pitch fastball that a lot of the Astros and other pitchers have been getting in for strike one. He said, I'm not going to allow them to be that easily down in the count.
Now with 1 out, nobody on, Bird. Good tailing fastball at 95. A lot of movement to these pitches from Morton.
Yeah, and a lot more velocity than we're used to seeing. He's a taller guy, but with a shorter stride. Gets the ball up there at 96, 97.
He did have Tommy John surgery earlier in his career. He's had trouble with injuries, but once he got past the Tommy John surgery, the injuries have not been to the arm. One of the reasons why the Astros felt good about giving him the 2-year deal for $14 million. That's a nasty pitch down and in, and strikeout number 3 for Charlie Morton. 2 out.
Yeah, if you're looking for signs that might give you a better feeling for Yankee hitters, they haven't shown up yet. The curveball is turning the corner. He throws it from a little low 3/4 angle, but that turn the corner is what I'm talking about. Start it in the middle, turn the corner, and miss the barrel. That's what Charlie Morton has been able to do now with the Astros. More of a strikeout pitcher than he's ever been, at least philosophically.
And career highs across the board. Wins, strikeouts, velocity is up. Got a no decision in game 4, the clinching game at Fenway Park when the Astros won 5-4 and Verlander got the win out of the bullpen. He went 4 1/3. Morton did. Here's a swinging bunt, and that for Hicks is a hit. 2 hits, and neither one has left the infield. Castro rather, with Hicks coming up. And that tag at first just to see if Starlin might have, as you said, turned the corner. John Smoltz, he went straight after the bag. Starlin would take that every time up. He's on with 2 out for Aaron Hicks, who will dig his way in with a 1 for 7 series going. Bregman had no chance even if he came up with it.
So in essence, basically 2 infield hits for the Yankees with 2 outs. 1 erased by getting picked off. And when you're in the postseason, you don't mind giving up 2-out hits, because that means most of the damage and stress has been taken care of by getting the first 2 guys out.
You could see Castro made no attempt to turn and go to second. You know, the Astros tried to get the out that way and get out of the inning. A pickoff ended the first. And now with a runner on, here is Aaron Hicks. We had a chance to talk to before the game, and he didn't win an everyday job out of spring training, but he said he wanted to force the Yankees' hand to get him in there, and he did. Despite 2 times on the DL. That is on the corner, strike 1.
Yeah, this is a heavy, highly touted athlete that for whatever reason did not get out of the blocks with Minnesota and perform to the level of his expectation since coming here. And when he was healthy for most of the season, really did do exactly that. Played his way into the lineup. Successful campaign.
That's on the corner as well at 96 and a 1-2 count.
Right where Gaddis wanted.
That is just down and in. That game 4 start was last Monday at Fenway Park. This 6'5", 220-pound 33-year-old has some electric stuff here tonight. Infield hit by Castro. 2 out. And a 2-2 to Hicks. Little flare into left center. That's going to drop. Castro holds at second. 2 on, 2 out with Frazier coming up.
Well, they haven't hit him hard, but they're getting some hits. That's refreshing for the Yankees, who have been held at bay. Not a team that gets a bunch of hits in an inning per se. A team that might get on and then hit a 3-run homer, hit about 4 homers in a game. But at this point, they'll take anything they can get, and certainly getting on the scoreboard first would be nice.
Well, here's Todd Frazier, who has seen a lot of Charlie Morton from their days in the National League. 7 of 18 with 2 home runs against his right-hander. But like we've talked about, even to these Yankee hitters, when we had a chance to go into the clubhouse, a lot of the old video against Morton you can throw away because he is a different pitcher.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's been in the league a long time, and Frazier, of course, in the National League for a long time. Seeing him pitch and having to draw a different picture in his mind is really what you can only say the last 6 weeks of the season. You get a good idea of what Morton's trying to do.
Here's a 1-1. Fly ball into right. Back at the wall. It's gone. Frazier with a 3-run shot. New York in the second.
This is not going to look pretty, the way that he hit it, but that's what this stadium is, and that's what you have to do sometimes, is take advantage of the velocity and the ballpark.
Ball 1 up and away to the number 9 hitter, Chase Headley. That was kind of rear end out.
Yeah.
Flip it into right, and that ball jumped. Tied up is Chase Headley. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So check this out. If you're Charlie Morton, you're scratching your head. You're going, I just painted away, and he just flipped it one-handed, and it got out quick.
Good pitch again from Morton. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He gives up 2 weak hits in an area of the ballpark where, hey, that's why the Yankees at home are so good, and that's why the hitters much rather be hitting here.
That might have caught Headley. He's asking Joe Girardi to review. Headley is claiming he was hit by the pitch.
I would have been amazed to see how it missed him when I saw it live. Curveball, back foot.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, it got him on the foot. But will they have enough evidence to see it?
And they're going to review it. Again, an extra challenge in the postseason for any manager. They get 2. It was the pitch after that one. It looked like it caught him on the back foot, the left foot.
Well, he signaled right away. And that doesn't mean, when a player signals to his manager, that doesn't mean they're always right, especially when it's on the bases, safe or not. But in this case, it looks like probably the leg area. He felt pretty confident to know that he felt it.
The replay review sponsored by WB Mason. Here's another look. And the foot
yeah.
of Charlie Morton kind of gets in the way of that view. And then you see this view
at the pant leg, right? What's the pant leg move?
I mean, barely.
Well, they may not have the view, but he signaled right away as if, hey, that hit me.
We haven't seen a definitive look yet. Again, it's Chad Fairchild back crossing the city, looking at the monitors, trying to determine if that ball just caught part of the pant leg of Chase Headley. If so, then he's down at first, and the batter will be Gardner.
One more look from this angle. The only thing I can think of is he felt it after the bounce, right?
Yes.
Well, we're talking to each manager. What they'll tell you is, look, we got to get a look at it as well. We can't always trust the player and the emotion of a play in the bag, sliding in, or in this case, something you would trust the player knows he felt. Why else would he tell him to check it out? 2 outs here, 3-0 lead.
Here's the call. So they didn't see enough evidence to overturn the call, and they're going to put Headley back at the plate. Here's the home run swing, just shooting it the other way by Frazier.
I'm just telling you, when you're out there and you make solid contact, the one thing was his body was gone, but his hands were back. Todd Frazier is known for hitting it from center to left field, primarily pulling the ball. He's looking to pull, so a ball right there that he hits almost one-handed, gone.
Now Headley lines one into right, caught by Reddick. And the inning is over, but 2-out damage. A swinging bunt by Castro, a flare hit by Hicks, and then an opposite field shot by Todd Frazier. Down 2-0. Yankees lead 3-0 after 2 in game 3. Josh Reddick first up for the Astros, takes a strike. It'll be Reddick, then Maben, then Springer. 8-9-1, and Todd Frazier just hit his first opposite field, right field home run here at Yankee Stadium. And so far Sabathia's been on. He's pitched 2 shutout innings. He has struck out 4, walked 1, hasn't allowed a hit.
And he loves pitching with the lead, but so do most pitchers. But most pitchers can't do it at the success rate that CC does.
Just missed.
Sanchez thought he called it. The umpire said no or low, one of the two. But Sanchez thought he had heard what he needed and was getting ready to fire it.
Another life for Reddick. 2-2. One away. Can Rosenthal give us more on CC?
Joe, free agent at the end of the season, but Joe Girardi said during the division series that CC's effect in the clubhouse is as big as anyone he has ever seen. So keep that in mind as the Yankees try to make a decision on CC. He has already said he wants to be back. The Yankees almost certainly will want him back. The question will be at what price. CC's earning $25 million this season. Might have to take a pay cut of nearly 50%, even more, given the Yankees' desire to be under the luxury tax threshold. But this clearly is the spot he needs to be.
Here's a strike in at the knees to Cameron Maben.
Maben's only hit a bunt single. Todd Frazier will kind of cheat in with the bag just to protect in case he decides to lay one down again.
That's up the middle. Sabathia stays away from it. The out at first. Good play by Castro. And with the bases empty, back to the top of the order, and Springer.
Hardest thing to do for me when I was pitching is remember where the guys were and what plays they normally make. In other words, ball up the middle, you deflect more times than you wish you would have, knowing your defense is behind you. Saw CC temporarily think about going after it and then going, oh no. Castro's got that.
Springer now. That's down. Ball 1. Springer tried to bunt his way on his first time up. The guy who's popped 34 home runs. Frazier was in to make the play. So 0 for 1, 0 for 8 in this ALCS. He doesn't go here in the count, 2-0. National League All-Star. A lot of production out of that leadoff spot. Count in his favor here. 2 balls, no strikes. That's just inside, and Sabathia.
Well, Sabathia's looking at his catcher like, what happened? Looked like he had a hole in his glove. It went right through the backside. That might have cost him a strike. You see the fastball right there, and it just catches the top half. And all that right there will change the view of the umpire. See,
3-0 pitch now to Springer. That's a strike.
Monster first half for Springer. 27 homers. Only hit 7 in the second half. Injury as well.
Base is empty, 2 out, and a walk. Second walk handed out by Sabathia. The other was to Gaddis with 2 out last inning. And the batter will be Bregman, who with 1 swing could make this a 1-run game.
Bregman off the left-handers is really looking for that low and in sweet spot. That's where he likes, with that short stroke, will have power to left field.
Good breaking ball from Sabathia. Alex struck out his first time, chased a high delivery on a 3-2 count.
You know, it's interesting. The reason CC, I believe, can make the transition once he loses his fastball and velocities, he's pitched long enough to know how to pitch. Today's philosophy and today's pitcher, if they were to lose their fastball, I don't think they're going to have the same success, because they're not really taught to pitch. They're taught to throw and power the ball in the zone all the time.
That is down toward the corner. It will not be caught. Gardner over to get to it. Going first to third is Springer. Good play by Gardner to hold Bregman to a single. And it's first and third, 2 out. Opportunity for Houston here in the third inning.
That was that down and in that he likes it. You see the swing, short, quick to the ball. And a good play by Gardner to go into second base with this to prevent good speed getting to second. So the man of the hour, the man of the hitting world, Altuve.
Little guy's digging his way in. He's been a machine. Home runs mean more this postseason, as T-Mobile is guaranteeing at least $1 million for hurricane recovery efforts, with every home run hit worth $10,000. Help break $1 million by tweeting #HR4HR. T-Mobile will donate an additional $1 per tweet. First and third, 2 out. The likely American League MVP is ready to go. Ball one. This will be pitch number 50 as Sabathia tries to get through 3. That's ball 2.
Well, the Astros were the best team in baseball with runners in scoring position. This postseason, a little off their number, but 269. They were 294 and the best in baseball. That's what makes their lineup long and deep. And now both teams trying to get 2-out rallies. That's what happened with the Yankees. 2 hits and a homer. The Astros are trying to match.
Altuve count in his favor. Takes ball 3 with Correa next.
.30. Green light.
If you don't trust Altuve on 3-0, you shouldn't. You can't trust anybody. Yeah, I'd let him swing. Not saying he will. He does, and he chunks it to third. It's a foul ball.
The general philosophy for guys and managers that trust their players is 3-0. Sometimes the swing gets too big, so that's when you're going to see guys get takes. If your swing doesn't get too big and you don't expand the zone and really what they call keyhole a pitch, this young guy can do it all.
Well, he's a 3-time American League batting champion. Hit .346 this year.
This is where I would be. I'm obviously not a gifted hitter, but I would be sitting on a slider if I was a hitter and only looking for that 3-1. Only looking for it. Don't adjust. Take it if it's a fastball. That's what I would do. See what Altuve does.
It misses up and away, and the bases are loaded for Houston. A walk, a hit, a walk, and that's now 3 walks handed out by Sabathia. The batter will be Correa.
Now with the bases loaded, a little bit more difficult to try to pitch him in, which is what CC did earlier with nobody on. Less room for error in there, and of course that brings in the great power that Correa has.
One of the game's most gifted players, Carlos Correa, takes a strike on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
But when you have trust and commitment, which is what CC to his glove side, meaning the command on the glove side inside to a right-hander, he's dotted it 3 times now to Correa.
Here's the 0-1. Got under it on the infield. Gregorius inning over. Sabathia loads him up and then gets the dangerous Carlos Correa to pop up. Still 3-0 New York. Lead at top of the order for New York. Gardner first up against Charlie Morton. Sizzling fastball at 96, jumps in there for strike 1. Gardner struck out, as did Judge in the first inning. Gregorius with a bunt hit, then he was picked off. In the air to left, Maybin back for out number 1. Tomorrow afternoon, the ALCS continues. Game 4 of this series. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern right here on FS1. Then it's Game 3 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and Cubs at 9 Eastern on TBS. It will be Yu Darvish for the Dodgers against Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs as that series goes to Wrigley. We know half the matchup. Sonny Gray for the Yankees tomorrow in that special late afternoon, early evening start. It'll either be Brad Peacock or Lance McCullers Jr. for the Astros.
If you're just tuning in, Morton has thrown the ball great, but he's trailing 3-0. Infield hit, bloop, an opposite field home run, all with 2 outs. That man responsible.
Little flip into right.
That man, the recipient.
Two and two on Judge. Inside a full count.
I mean, next year, to help save time for the baseball games, we should just have Judge start with a 3-2 count.
With you. Every time you look up, 3-2 pitch. That's down for a 1-out walk. First walk issued by Charlie Morton.
And you know what? That's not a pitch Judge is going to be able to hit. And that's a pitch that has been all series called a strike. That one Charlie's going to want, and you can understand why, but the lower part of the zone, the ones that are even below that, have been the difficult part on strikes called against Aaron Judge because he's so tall. And he got the benefit of that.
Here's Gregorius with a bunt single, his first time up. That's a ground ball stopped by Altuve. Safe off the bag is the call with Marwin Gonzalez. What a play by Altuve. And right now it's an infield hit. A.J. Hinch is going to walk out. And they're going to ask for a review.
Now this ball was ticketed for a base hit, and he first, once he gets it, he looks to see, can he get it out of his glove and to second base? He can't, so he flips and turns in one motion, and I think he kept his foot on the bag.
Oh my gosh, the first base umpire, Chris Guccione, is right there. He had a great view of it. You don't see it there. Let's see if his foot slides off the bag just a bit right there. And Guccione was staring right down at it, about 12 feet away up the line.
It's whether or not once the ball got in the glove, it looked like his spikes had come away from the bag at some point, but was it on with the ball in the glove? That's what they're looking to find out.
I mean, just another great play by Altuve. Home plate umpire is also the crew chief, so he's over there with Guccione. I don't know. I would say there's nothing we've seen that's going to change the call. A regular speed look at it.
Just the ability to throw in one motion and change your decision on where you want to go was enough for Altuve to make that play. Couldn't get much on the throw, and that's why it went a little awry, but that's the call. He's out.
They're saying on review, out is the call, despite the good view that Guccione had.
You're talking about spikes, you know, just inches.
For the Yankees is the catcher, number 24,
having to make a split decision. That was, you could tell that was a difficult call in live action.
What a play by Altuve. I mean, he can beat you so many ways. He can kill you with a hit. He can hit a big home run. He can make a defensive play. He can steal a base. And he can score from first to win a game like he did in game 2 on a ball in the gap hit by Correa.
And you know what's amazing? That's not his glove.
That's right, it's not. Belongs to Marwin Gonzalez, the guy he threw it to. Now Sanchez pops it up behind the plate, and it gets out of play.
That's what intrigues me so much about Altuve. He uses other people's bats. He uses other people's. It doesn't matter to him. He's just like one of those guys that you could tell could play in any place, any environment, in any era. And he said, "Yeah, that's Marwin's glove."
This is such a relaxed, young, good Houston Astro team. Altuve is a great example of that. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Sanchez, runner at second. That's a strike, strike two. That runner at second is Aaron Judge. Left side, Bregman's got it, inning over. And that sends game number 3 into the 4th inning, and another gem put together by Altuve. He is a joy to watch. 3-0. Yankees lead after 3. We welcome you back to the ALCS presented by Camping World on FS1 as the game goes into the 4th inning. 3-0. The Yankees lead. Sabathia back to the hill. First pitch misses for ball 1 to Yuli Gurriel. We are pleased to be joined by one of our favorites, whether he was with the Detroit Tigers and now with the Houston Astros, the great Justin Verlander. And Justin, first of all, a 1-0 pitch. Gurriel takes down 2-0. Thanks for doing this. Congrats on the other day. My God, it was one of the best pitching performances I think I've ever seen. How'd you feel?
Thanks. I mean, I felt great. You know, I think I made some adjustments this year about mid-season, and it's just been getting better and better. And honestly, I mean, that's the best I've felt all around all year.
Here's a fly ball into right. Back on the track. Judge has got it for the out. And that big 6'7" body slammed into the wall and right, and he was able to hang on. Sabathia appreciates the effort. See if there's any residual effect after hitting the wall as hard as he did. He had to go a long way to get it.
Surprised the grounds crew's not coming out to check on the wall.
I don't know what got hurt worse, the wall or him.
Crowd serenades him with an MVP chant, as they do for Jose Altuve down in Houston. 1 out. Batters Gaddis. Is this going to be the shortest interview in the history of interviews for Orlando?
I mean, I hope not, but it's pretty quick. I don't think it can go much quicker.
No, so 2 out. If we don't get a chance to mention what you've done for Hurricane Harvey relief while you're on, we'll talk about it after you're here. But tell us, 124 pitches, the great start in Game 2. How close was it for you not being a Houston Astro before the deadline and that deal getting done? Was it as close as everybody says?
Closer, I think. I mean, no joke. I think I got confirmation that somebody said there was like 2 seconds to spare by the time they got the signed document that was necessary. So, I mean, it was not much time and a lot happening, a lot of different moving pieces all at once. But I mean, this is what I just said yes for. This is what it's all about right here.
Yeah, you had obviously faced this team. You'd watched them grow. The batter here is Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is a fun team. I've been around a lot of clubhouses over the years. This team is loose, young, good. You know you're good, but you're not cocky and overconfident.
Absolutely, man. This is I mean, it's been a lot of fun for me to be around these guys. It's rejuvenating. It's, you know, these guys they're so talented at such a young age. It's really impressive.
Gregorius makes the play. Justin, we hardly knew you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, buddy. Yeah, thanks. Great work the other day.
All right, thank you.
Fantastic. Quick inning put up by Sabathia, thanks in large part to this catch in right by Aaron Judge. 3-0 New York. 3-0 game, bottom of the 4th inning. Greg Bird first up against Charlie Morton, and a good rip and a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, strike one. Bird is first time struck out. He followed by Starlin Castro and Aaron Hicks. 3-run home run by Todd Frazier. The 2 out back in the 2nd. That is down and in. Caught somebody down there, but no review. The count 1-1.
I'm only chuckling because of the pressure and all that went down in game 2, right? And Joe Girardi, he brought light of it when this series started. Getting the replay at home plate.
Good breaking ball from Morton.
And that's why I think Joe has the right temperament here. All that went down in game 2, all the pressure, all the talk radio, everything that was being discussed, he has the right temperament, the right passion to lead this organization. Yes, he doesn't have a contract, but I think he's going to be back. He's done a great job with this club. Wasn't expected to be in the playoffs. Now they are.
I think he'll be back if he wants to be back.
Right.
He talked about it, how he has a family meeting, asked his wife and his children if they want him to continue, and he said it's been unanimous every time the questions come up. They like what Dad does. That's just outside from Morton. Full count. I'm with you. I think it takes a unique type, a special talent to manage in this city, and with the Yankees, Joe Torre obviously had it. Joe Girardi's done a great job, won a world championship in his 2nd year back in 2009, and has the Yankees in the ALCS first time since 2012. Fly ball into left, long run by Maybin, won't get there, double. They played Bird to pull, and Cameron Maybin, who can run, couldn't get close enough to it.
A little surprised seeing it live. Yes, he had to cover a lot of territory, but it's not like natural turf. But because it was going to bounce on that dirt, he almost pulled up a little bit.
Maybin, who started the season with the Angels, picked up by the Astros down the stretch. And that ball bounces in front of him into the seats for a double. Now Starlin Castro.
Well, the wind is definitely swirling. You can't tell by looking at the big flag, but up above the stadium, these flags don't always tell the story of what's going on. And what, even talking to Joe, it swirls. Just when you think it's blowing in, a ball like Frazier, which is low, got out of here quick. Then the fly ball that Judge tracked down did not carry like you would think.
That's foul, strike 2 on Starlin Castro. Castro had a full swing and just chopped one toward third. Back in the 2nd, he reached on the infield hit. Aaron Hicks blooped a hit into shallow center, then the 3-run shot by Frazier. This gives me a chance to make good on the promise to Justin Verlander, who has personally donated $100,000 to launch the Hurricane Harvey Patriot Grant Program, and has also committed his playoff share to his foundation, Wins for Warriors. The Astros Foundation will also match Justin's donation to the Hurricane Harvey Patriot Grant Program. One of the game's really good guys. Now time called to the plate. Meanwhile, the Astros as an organization have done so much for Hurricane Maria relief in Puerto Rico. And Jim Crane, their owner, and right on down through the organization, Carlos Beltran, very philanthropic group, and good for them. Carlos Correa, his homeland devastated by the hurricane. Here's the 0-2, down and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Jim Crane and the Astros, I mean, you can't say enough for what their city's been through, and really the core players that play for them in their country.
Morton trying to get around that double down the left field line by Bird. Gonna have to do some pitching to accomplish that. 1-2. Instead, Morton looks back toward Bird.
Tell you what, Morton, this is one of those games in the regular season you would just go, wow, I'm throwing the ball really well. They're just hitting them where they're not, and hard to believe you're down 3-0 if you're Charlie Morton, the way that he's throwing the baseball.
Castro, good job to lay off that pitch. 2-2. On deck is Hicks, and then Todd Frazier, who has the biggest swing of the night so far. Left side, that will not advance the runner. Good job by Bregman to make sure that Bird stayed put. 1 out. And a good pitch by Morton in on the hands of the hitter, Starlin Castro.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the game has changed philosophically on what everybody's trying to do. But as a pitcher, you want him to hit the ball. It almost hit him in the jersey. He pulls his hands in. Look where that ball hits and how the bat didn't break. Up 3-0, not as important, but I think anytime you're in the postseason, you got a chance to advance the runner. That's the #1 goal. And then let the guy behind you drive him in if you can.
Strike 1 on Hicks. Had a 6-game postseason hit streak snapped in game 1. Had a base hit in game 2. Now 2 for 8 in this ALCS. After his hit in the second, scored on the homer by Frazier.
I was reminded watching the introductions as a professional baseball player, you start out leaving spring training hoping to get announced 5 different times in the season. Opening day, All-Star game, and then each round of the postseason. That's foul. There's nothing better. The Yankees have a chance actually to do it 6 times because they had the wild card game. But I'm talking about getting introduced at home. Yeah, you get introduced in both sides of the ballpark when you go on the visitor, but that truly accomplishes a great year for a player if you can get introduced 6 different times and win it all. The Astros are hoping to do that for the first time.
They won 1 pennant. Came up short against the White Sox in 05. They have switched leagues since then. 2-2 pitch now to Hicks. It's down a full count.
What the Astros do, especially with that man, Brent Strom, fantastic job with his pitching staff and teaching the ball, teaching how to spin the baseball. They've taken Charlie Morton and his curveball and realized by getting him what they could do and what they could turn him into, and they have, because he's only had 2 winning seasons in his big league career coming into this season.
Fouled back by Hicks, and then went 14-7 with an ERA just over 3.5 during the regular year. It made him some money if he can stay healthy. He's got 1 more year under this 2-year deal. His career has been changed by A.J. Hinch, Brent Strom, and the Astros organization. They're just looking for an out here with Hicks. 3-2 pitch. High fly ball into right center. On the track for out number 2. Reddick made the play. Tagging going to third is Bird, and the batter will be Todd Frazier.
And see, that ball got knocked down. This ball did not get knocked down. It took off.
A 3-run shot by Frazier back in the second. And now, after having Charlie Morton's number, that's 3 home runs against Morton for Todd Frazier. He's now 8 for 19 lifetime against him. Morton gets a visit from Brent Strom, and Tom Verducci give us more on Todd Frazier.
Well, it was a big swing, but as aesthetics go, that's not exactly an oil painting of a swing. Todd drags his back ankle. Watch his back leg. In fact, that swing is so, well, let's call it unorthodox. He doesn't like watching himself on video. What he does have, guys, incredibly strong hands. And don't forget, grew up in New Jersey, a Yankees fan, knows all about Yankees postseason history. 1995, when he was 9, he attended Game 2 of the ALDS at Yankee Stadium, and that was a game the Yankees won in the 15th inning on an opposite field home run to right field by Jimmy Leyritz.
Tom Thanks now with the runner at third, Bird 2 out. First pitch down to Frazier. And now down and away, 2-0. On deck is the struggling DH Chase Headley. And after that visit, you kind of get the feeling they're being careful here with Frazier.
Yeah, I would have thought that's a conversation, but also maybe elevating some fastballs up if they get an opportunity. Because he's such a good low ball hitter, and he's so much connected with that kind of coil and letting it fly. Even though his body might get in front of him like we saw, his hands can stay back and he can flip it.
Bird the runner at third, 2 out, 2-1 pitch. That is inside to put runners at the corners. And it sure feels like they pitched around Frazier with Headley coming up, who is 0 for 16 this postseason. And the DH spot, Yankees are tired of hearing about it, hitless during this postseason. And the DH spot overall between the Astros and the Yankees in this series, hitless.
Yeah, it's going so bad that even when they thought they got hit, they were hitless because the ball didn't hit Headley in the first time he was up. But they have been constantly pounding him in and throwing back foot breaking balls. Hard for him to stay off the pitch in.
Fastball at 96, too high, ball 1. Remember, Headley did get into a ball down in Houston. It was caught by Reddick at the top of the wall. First and third, 2 out, 1-0 pitch. And again, that same spot fouled away by Headley, a ball and a strike. And the Yankees have made Charlie Morton work here in the 4th. But Morton's done a nice job. Leadoff double. Now first and third, 2 out, no damage done. Headley lays off the pitch, ball 2. Both bullpens are quiet. Two and 2.
CC coming back out for the 5th, and then that's when Joe Girardi really will be looking at outs. Whatever outs CC can give him from that point on, his pen will be ready to finish the game if need be.
Trying to catch Todd Frazier mid-step or napping over at first.
Whereas on the other side, AJ has the luxury of being 2 up, and this score will dictate how he uses his pen moving forward, and probably what his starter will be tomorrow based on this score. Right now, it looks like Peacock.
2-2 now. Headley didn't go for it. Full count, and the runner at first, Frazier, will take off. That's up the middle. Tough play, Altuve. No play. Another run. First and second, 2 out. It's 4-0. And that's one of the advantages with a 3-2 count, giving that runner at first a head start. No force at second, no play for Altuve, and a run scores.
And another perfectly placed hit. You can see they were really shifting for him to pull the ball. And Correa, not sure if he was going to have to go after this ball, why he's not at second. That's the reason. And they weren't able to throw it back and maybe catch Frazier, who was rounding the base a little aggressively.
First hit by a DH in this series. First hit by a DH this postseason for the Yankees. Gardner takes a strike. Now there's action for Houston in their bullpen as Harris gets loose. Will has yet to appear in this series. Here's an 0-1. And caught Gardner to load the bases. And let's see where it got him. Left knee. Bases loaded. A run in, 2 out, and Aaron Judge coming up.
First 2 times they've been attacking him a little bit early with fastballs. Bases are loaded now. That might change the game plan. Gaddis going out there to encourage Morton with the game plan that they want to attack Judge. And again, there really hasn't been. It's not going to matter because he's not going to give the opportunity to get out of this.
Hit batsman is the end of the night for Charlie Morton. Will Harris is ready to go. And behind CC Sabathia. Strength of a 3-run home run by Todd Frazier. Some good defense. Yankees have added to their lead and have a chance for more. Budweiser 4-0. Yankees on top, down 2-0 in this ALCS. That man, Todd Frazier, on the right, a 3-run shot in the second. Yankees grab their first lead of the series. Charlie Morton's been KO'd, and CC Sabathia doing more good October postseason work. The new pitcher is a guy who doesn't walk many, only 7 this year. Will Harris had a good year. 52 strikeouts, 7 walks, bases loaded. Aaron Judge.
Cutters and curveballs is what you're going to see. And there was a cutter at 92 on the outer part of the plate.
Judge has struck out and walked. 34 of his 53 home runs coming here at Yankee Stadium this year, including the postseason. That gets away. A run scores, and it's 5-0 New York. Frazier crosses the plate as Gaddis couldn't block it.
Yeah, you're going to see Gaddis's glove in a different position with that 12-6 break. Watch it spike in front of the plate, but see how he goes down with his glove that way instead of turning it with the palm and having a better chance stabs at it. And
that's a wild pitch. That makes it 5-0, second and third, 2 out. And a 1-1 pitch. Harris mad he didn't get that call. The count 2-1.
A little bit off. Down again. Gaddis tried to make it look better.
Wow. How was that swing?
Much better, but still earlier in the year this would have gone a long way. And that's the difference between being pitched extremely tough and then the pressure of trying to hit the one pitch you might get. He knows that was oh so close. I wouldn't mess with another one of those. I'd throw Uncle Charlie right here. Curveball. Got 2 really to go through, so maybe Gaddis is calling for it. He didn't like it.
Two-two pitch. Driven in the air to left. This ball is gone. Aaron Judge opens it up at 8-0 with his first of the series.
Swing told me all I needed to know if I was on the mound, and maybe Gaddis was trying to get the curveball call, but the man who's throwing it is the only one that counts. And Harris went right back with the cutter, and that ball stays on that middle half, and that is dangerous because middle half and middle up, it's a strong man and a relief.
Gregorius takes a strike. Book on Morton is closed. 3 2/3, 7 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, a home run, a hit batsman. So he leaves with the bases loaded. All 3 come around to score. And a bouncer in there from Harris. Ball and a strike. Now McHugh, the right-hander, getting loose. 0-2 to Gregorius.
Well, it's not an elimination game, which the Yankees are undefeated in this year, but you had to feel like when they came to the ballpark, it was a kind of a must-win game. The Astros are so good in every department that CC knows, and CC has proven the calmness of being on the mound, but more importantly, the Yankees like being at home. And we're seeing that as evidence to the couple home runs and 8 runs put on the board.
Remember, he is 9-0 this season after a Yankee loss. That's a check swing and a full count on Gregorius. That's what they call a stopper in a rotation. You stop the streak, whether it's one game, whatever it may be. Give the ball to Sabathia, undefeated the next game. 3-2 pitch. Still full.
Well, when you see this kind of swing and Judge just missing this pitch, straight foul back, and then he didn't miss this one, upper quadrant. And a relief for him with all the pressure and all the focus being on his strikeouts.
Hard hit off the glove of Gonzalez, and got him at first. Another dandy from Altuve. Somehow he turned that into an out with Will Harris covering. It goes 3-4-1, and Altuve is a magician. Man, what a play. What an inning for the Yankees. They lead 8-0. Big number 99 with a 3-run shot to thrill them here in the Bronx. It's been over a half hour since CC Sabathia has been out on the mound. He's got an 8-0 lead. Remember, he was on the mound in Game 2 of the division series at Cleveland. When he left, it was a 5-run game, and moments later it was a 1-run game, and then eventually an extra inning loss. This has got a different feel to it over the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reddick.
And this is huge for Joe Girardi, the luxury of having 8 runs now and giving CC the opportunity to go 5, 6, and maybe 7. Who knows? But if you're going to get back in this series for the Yankees, you can't have a worn out bullpen. So he was prepared to use his bullpen, which he will use tonight. But the stress to this point, not much.
He did load the bases in the 3rd inning and got Correa to get out of it. That's outside. Count goes to 3-1. Reddick, then Maben, then Springer. Maben let that ball, couldn't get to it. Dropped in front of him off the bat of Bird to start the 5-run 4th. That's on the corner. Reddick has to stay put. The count's full.
Reddick, the only difference between right-handed and left-handed pitching is the power when he faces left-handers. Only 1 home run, but the average is virtually the same. So he sacrifices power, but still can hit for average.
That's ball 4, and the 4th walk to go with 4 strikeouts for Sabathia. The ALCS on FS1 is presented by Camping World, America's #1 RV retailer since 1966. And is sponsored by T-Mobile. This postseason, there's a new leader in network, T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. A couple of 3-run home runs, one by Frazier, one by Judge.
CC might like to have that pitch selection back. 8-0, 3-2, went with the slider at the walk.
Ball 1 up and away to Maben. CC is 37 from Vallejo, California. As we talked about earlier, a free agent to be. That's a strike. Bell-tie fastball from Sabathia, who has brought a bit of calm to the center of the diamond here for the Yankees, down 2-0. 1-1 pitch. He did not go. 2-1.
But that previous call against Maben is why he went after that pitch, right? You think that might have been a ball and it was called a strike, so why not see it up there as a potential strike? But he held it. Amazingly held it.
2-1. Fly ball into right. Judge is there for the diving catch. The 25-year-old's having a game tonight. One smashing into the wall, and this one coming in toward the infield. 1 out.
He's a good athlete. Can cover a lot of ground. It's not an easy play coming in. See how he turns his glove. 1 against the wall, 1 inside right field. There's not a lot of area to cover, but he can cover wherever he's at.
Back to the top of the order, and Springer takes a strike. I mean, Judge is obviously a big-bodied guy, but he played some center in college. I mean, he moves well for a guy who's 6'7" and just looks like an NFL tight end or defensive end.
Yeah, the play early on in the season in Tampa.
That is a base hit to left by Springer. Astros making noise here in the 5th inning as you get into the heart of this lineup with Bregman about to hit.
Hard to believe that's the first hit for the outfield of the Astros.
Springer is now 1 for 9. As John said, the other members of the outfield, when they've been to the plate, hitless. Here's Bregman. High strike to start the at-bat. Bregman just 23 years old. Breaking balls flied into right. Along the line, it is a fair ball caught by Judge, who had to cover a lot of ground. 2 out.
You see the wind knocking it down, and in that little triangle where the first baseman, second baseman are definitely going to give way to the right fielder, who's coming in hard.
You may never see the other guy.
You might not.
Sabathia trying to pitch around a leadoff walk, and here is Jose Altuve. Made 2 really good defensive plays in this game. He has struck out and walked. Breaking ball for a strike. Wind whipping around down here below at Yankee Stadium, field level. We've seen the ball jump. We've seen it get knocked down. Chilly night. 0-1 pitch. To third, Frazier steps on, inning over. And Sabathia is through 5. He leads by 8. With Gary Sanchez set the lead off for New York. We're halfway through game 3. All Yankees so far. McHugh takes over. Started the season on the disabled list, had right shoulder tendonitis. Missed 96 games, and then getting activated third week of July. Stayed active the rest of the year. He is the third pitcher of the night for Houston. Was not on the division series roster. Added for this ALCS. Sanchez, a ball and a strike. Gary 0 for 2.
McHugh, like the Astros starters, can spin it as well. Lesser velocity control pitcher, moves it around and spins the breaking ball.
That's a strike as that pitch backed up a bit. 1-2. Sanchez, then Bird, then Castro. Yankees lead 8-0. It's inside. We've seen good defense from both teams. A pair of 3-run shots. Frazier and Judge. 2-2 pitch. Full count.
And we've seen some perfectly placed hits by the Yankees before their damage. It all started with 2 outs. It's an infield hit. Sometimes that's how it turns for you. You know, you square some balls up, get outs, hard hit, and it takes a night like tonight.
Charging it is Correa, and he gets Sanchez by a step and a half. This Saturday on Fox, number 5 Wisconsin hosts Maryland at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, followed by Baker Mayfield and 9th ranked Oklahoma taking on K-State. That's Saturday on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. What a difference a couple of nights make. Games 1 and 2 shut down by the combo of Keuchel and Verlander. Tonight, they put together 8 runs on 7 hits. Been handed 2 walks. And a hit batsman, a wild pitch, couple of home runs. Here's Bird, took a ball, and now rips one into right at Reddick. 2 out. And then Josh gets to hear from the crowd out beyond the wall and right. The official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. Celebrate your favorite team with the latest postseason gear at MLBshop.com. Batter will be Starlin Castro, 1 for 2.
And he's the one that got it started in the 2nd inning. With the swinging bunt base hit with 2 outs. Seemed harmless at the time.
It was followed by a flare hit by Hicks, and then the opposite field home run by Frazier. .0. Right through it at 91 miles per hour. Ball and a strike. Yankees trying to break a string. They have struck out 3 times tonight as a team. It's been a bad run of 10 or more strikeouts through this postseason. 7 straight, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Castro. Just reaching the bat out. Little pop up into right center. Reddick is there. The inning is over. A 1-2-3 inning for Colin McHugh on a chilly night in New York. It is busy back in the city. Glad you're with us on FX 8-0 New York. 6th inning. Rolls in, and back out for work is CC Sabathia. Carlos Correa, then Yuli Gurriel, then Evan Gattis. Sabathia just 2 hits, no runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Leading 8-zip. Good pitch down to Correa, who is 0 for 2. He struck out leading off the 2nd, and then in a 3-0 game had the bases loaded 2 out in the 3rd inning and popped up.
Great changeup, one of the few ones we've seen out of CC, and a great game plan, mixing it up in, out.
Down the right field line, will it stay in play? Bird couldn't get there. Bird had right ankle surgery. He was bothered by that leg all year. Finally got healthy by the end of the season and got hot. And really took over the first base position, which he was ticketed for coming out of spring training. Had a terrific spring and then just couldn't get over the injury. And finally they figured out what was wrong, how to remedy it. And he's been good from September on. Here's one up the middle, off the glove of Gregorius for a base hit. And Correa's on to start the 6th.
Ball was hit hard. Gregorius didn't get a super quick jump to it, but he was able to get the glove. Here's your look at it. Had a hard time if he would have come up with that, coming up and being able to throw off Correa. Good speed.
You kind of touched on this earlier, John. Despite the 2-0 lead and how impressive the Astros have been, that's their first leadoff hit in this series. It belongs to Correa. I was thinking, could not have done that with the bases loaded. In a 3-0 game. Now it's 8-0, and he's on to start the 6th. We'll see if they start to stir in that Yankee bullpen at all. Here's Gurriel.
CC's done a nice job crowding Gurriel. He's been crushing outside pitches.
He sent Judge to the wall, into the wall, his last time up. That's been his best pitch all night. That's in for strike 1.
Yeah, the slider. He's able to have a lot of feel and touch for that pitch. It takes the trust that you can start it outside and not square it up middle to a right-handed hitter.
Down and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, by the looks of it, the way these teams are constructed and the obvious superstars that the youth that both of these clubs have, you could be looking at a bunch of postseason appearances between these two teams for years to come. The Yankees ahead of the curve. Houston right on schedule based on their plan 5 years ago.
That's foul. 2-2. Well, the Houston model has them, as you say, primed for this season. And after building and building and building, they've got the right manager. This guy's really smart, A.J. Hinch. Great drafting, great scouting. They added some pieces that they needed to get over the top, and they are as well put together as anybody in the game. Might be the best roster still left. That's out number 1 and strikeout number 5 for Sabathia.
And for many of those who have followed the Astros and fans, it was painful 5 years leading into this progression because they had to change the roster going to the American League. They had to lose a lot, and they did. And they didn't miss on many picks. Of course, they've hit on a lot of them. And now they're hoping that that window of success is a lot longer than the pain it was to get to this point.
Here's Evan Gattis. That's a strike. Tom Verducci, this story with Evan Gattis is you could write a script around it.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not a movie already. About a decade ago in New York under very different circumstances, he was traveling around the country seeking out spiritual advisors. Was staying at a youth hostel here in New York at the time. He went to an ATM machine to buy a hot dog, and the balance showed negative $17. He had to rely on the kindness of strangers to find his way back to Dallas. A police officer let him ride the train to JFK. A tourist from Ireland loaned him $10 to buy lunch. When he got home, he found a job as a janitor. Eventually found his way to Permian Basin Community College. Played baseball for the first time again after 4 years. Was drafted by the Atlanta Braves. Since then, he has made $10 million playing Major League Baseball.
And he shoots a line drive into center, caught by Hicks. 2 out. More the DH type catching in this game. And a real story of perseverance. And an easy guy to root for, Evan Gattis. 2 out, the batter will be Marwin Gonzalez. Here's a guy who went through some losing with the Houston Astros, and as the team has risen, so has Marwin Gonzalez. A career year any way you look at it. Strike 1. Coming into this game, the homegrown Astros, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, Fisher, Gurriel, Springer, in this postseason hitting .371 with all 9 of the Astros home runs. And 20 of their 28 runs scored, 18 of their 26 RBIs. With 2 out, the 0-1 is outside, a ball and a strike.
And it's worth reiterating what they're able to do this offseason in adding the quality and veteran leadership that now blends perfectly with that talent. It's rare that you see an all-young team full of talent go on to win a World Series. So the blend is about as good as it's been for a while.
That's a strike and a good pitch inside corner. Big piece they added, the 40-year-old Carlos Beltran. We talked to Altuve before the game. He said that's what we didn't have in 2015, a vet that stays on us. Texting players on the day off, getting their mind right for the next postseason game. And by the way, Beltran still produced, hit 14 home runs, drove in 51, hit 231. He can still play. Sabathia trying to get through 6 shutout innings. And would Joe Girardi have sprinted to sign up for that coming into this game? 1-2. Breaking ball stays outside.
Yeah, this game had a feel for both starting pitchers, probably getting about 10 innings total when you think about how the makeup and the bullpen readiness. Charlie Morton deserved a better fare, and especially a better line score. It was just not his night. Only really 1 ball hit hard. But the game has a way of being cruel at times and not always evening out. So hard to not be disappointed if you're Charlie Morton, but you got to focus on the fact that you threw the ball really well. The Yankees just were better on this given night against him.
Gregorius, wild throw, gets away, and it's 1st and 3rd. Gregorius ends up on the ground. I don't know if he lost his footing on that throw or what, but it just took off.
Don't know if he had the flip to second, but nonetheless, he ends up throwing away. Good arm, sidearm throws. The foot does get out from underneath him, and you could see that is what led to the throw. Once he lost footing in his spikes, there was no chance he could get that ball on target.
It's the first error of the postseason for Gregorius, who goes to that area behind the mound where he can knock the dirt out of his spikes. First and third now, and an opportunity for Houston with Josh Reddick coming up. A quick visit by Joe Girardi, jogged out, said something to Sabathia, turned around and went back to the dugout. Green is ready if needed in the bullpen. Strike one inside corner.
Well, this crowd has been standing, anticipating the third out so that they could let CC know what they think of his job tonight.
How about Sabathia? A high throw, but out and through 6 shutout innings. Here in game 3. What a night for the 37-year-old lefty. That big smile, that big left-hander's pitched so well here tonight. 6 shutout innings, 3 hits. He's up to 99 pitches. We'll see if that's the end of his night. Meanwhile, it's Hicks against McHugh, and that fastball rides up and away. Ball 1. Be Hicks and Frazier, then Headley. Right into the teeth of the defense. The shift on, that was Correa. Wow. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. 2 3-run shots, John. This one flipped into right by Frazier.
Yeah, you see, it doesn't take much. It just has to be the right swing and angle. But then this one didn't take much to get over. But boy, did it do a lot. It did a lot for these fans. It did a lot for Aaron Judge. It's done a lot for the scoreboard. 8-0. No stress to this point for the Yankee fans or the Yankees. But we did talk to AJ before the game, and his conundrum was what to do with Brad Peacock and the starter. I risked a lot by saying that word.
You did, and that was good, though.
Did I use it in the right context?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But he didn't know what to do because of the weapons that he has. And he likes Brad Peacock, and it looks like this game made it easier, although he's not going to like the outcome. But it looks like Brad Peacock will be the starter tomorrow night.
Are you announcing that right now?
I am going on a big limb,
a sturdy limb
to think that that's the choice he will make.
He was deciding between Brad Peacock, Lance McCullers Jr., whose dad played here. That's us. That's the second guy from the left is the one who's making the starting rotation plans for the Houston Astros. Circle yourself.
Circle myself.
Quick! Yo, you're losing.
Oh my gosh!
No, you.
They told me not to.
Left side off the bat of Frazier. And out at first. 2 down. Where's the camera? Oh, there it is, right there in the middle. Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is the guy. He's the guy making out the starting rotation plans for the Astros.
Yeah, I think I like the choice.
You do?
Yeah.
That you made.
Yeah.
Peacock. Brad Peacock.
It's not official, America.
It's not official. Matt Gangle is our director. Pete Macheska. New Jersey Zone Pete Macheska is our producer. Ball 1 high to Headley. With 2 out, Chase takes a pitch down.
You know, we do this thing on the road with production, getting to and from the stadiums.
Yes.
It's usually a car full of people. Everybody lives here. I'm the only one.
Well, I don't.
Well, true, but
we didn't work together. That's a strike. Adam Warren now is up. He has had very little work. They had Chad Green up. I think you kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Headley. If you're Girardi, I remember Tony La Russa, the Hall of Fame manager, used to call something like this a doubleheader win. You get the win, but the doubleheader part is you don't have to use Green maybe if you don't need to. You don't have to use Robertson. You don't have to use these big weapons down in your bullpen as Headley strikes out. Okay, going into the 7th inning. Mr. Warren, come on down. 8-0. New York. afternoon, the ALCS continues. Game 4 of this series. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern here on FS1. Then it's Game 3 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and the Cubs from Wrigley at 9 Eastern on TBS. Cameron Maybin 0 for 2. New pitcher is Adam Warren, who misses outside, a ball and a strike.
He's really just got all around really good stuff. Sneaky fast, tight breaks to all his different breaking balls. You see the ERA, it's just another added weapon for Joe out of the pen.
Whoa. Boy, where that missed.
Set up in, had to make it look like it was a little farther out when Sanchez caught it. See how he set up in right there, and then he kind of stabs at it. The display was not as good.
2-1 pitch is a makeup call over the outside corner, 2-2.
Closer to the intended target.
Oh no, he's going to be. Maybin with a count of 2-2. Back to the top of the order, and that means Springer and Bregman. The next two. Maybin trying to get on. If nothing else, Houston would love to make Joe Girardi spin some of the big arms out of his bullpen in what is an 8-0 game at the moment, because tomorrow, as this ball will get out of play, figures to be a bullpen game with Sonny Gray for the Yankees taking on either Peacock or McCullers.
I'm just telling you, the Yankees are in a good spot with Sonny Gray going Game 4. I mean, look, Sonny Gray hasn't had the results that you would think when they went and got him. He's had a lot of tough luck in the regular season, but the Yankees didn't score many runs for him. But they can turn this series upside down with the ability that their offense can wake up a little bit. And you want to put stress, as you mentioned, and pressure on the Astros to have to go back home in an ideal situation, having to win 2 games, right? If everybody takes care of, which has been, by the way, these postseason kind of home teams winning.
That's ball 4, a leadoff walk, and the 5th walk handed to the Astros here tonight. That will get Joe Girardi on the phone as he watched Adam Warren come out of the bullpen and walk the first man. Tom Verducci, let's talk bullpens.
Yeah, well, managers know, Joe, this Game 3 very important for setting up your bullpen, because remember, the only time you're going to play 3 days in a row, the middle games of the LCS and World Series. So to keep your bullpen fresh and avoid having guys dragging in that 5th game is to keep them rested in Game 3.
That's Green again, who's about to loosen for the 2nd time. Here comes the 0-1. Springer is 1 for 2. He's grounded out, walked, and then singled back in the 5th. Strike 2. Sabathia went 6. No runs, 3 hits. Walked 4, struck out 5. And he was the right guy to take the ball here, down 2-0 back at home. And a stopper in the rotation for Joe Girardi, trying to go to 10-0. 13 starts after a Yankee loss this season. Oh, 2-2.
Much like the first series, they came back and pitched CC in the elimination game, Game 5. He's set up to do that again if Joe needs him to. They force a Game 7 or have to play a Game 7.
2-2 pitch is fouled back.
So when you get to this time of the year, you need a couple things going for you. You need 2 hot pitchers. I've always said in your rotation, if you can get 2 hot pitchers, you can advance. and you can ride their coattails. And then you need 2 hot hitters. Well, we've seen that's been a problem for the Yankees. Maybe it gets going a little bit. But the 2 hot pitchers so far have been Tanaka and CC, with now Severino in his last couple games pitching much better.
Another 2-2 pitch from Adam Warren. 1 away. So 1 on, 1 out. The batter will be Alex Bregman. Interesting that Luis Severino, last time we were on the air was 2 days ago on Saturday, and Severino went 4. The speculation was either A, something was wrong with his arm, he was stretching it out, or B, when he got hit by a batted ball. Here's a line drive for 1 out. No chance to turn 2. 2 out here in the 7th. Bregman lines out to Starlin Castro. But after the game, Luis Severino said, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with my arm. I wasn't hurt by the batted ball. I think it was Gurriel who hit that ball. So as we go deeper into this series, his spot will come back around. If we get to that position, that would be in a game 6 on Friday in Houston. Batter now is Altuve, strike 1. Ken, did you learn any more about the health of Severino?
Well, I asked Severino today, Joe, how he was, and he said, I'm good to go today. So obviously he's fine. Joe Girardi kind of joked around about it too. He said that he asked Severino, hey, do you still hate me for taking you out? And Severino said, no, we're good.
Well, that's good information. Tomorrow, as we said, maybe 100 times now. Peacock against Sonny Gray or McCullers Jr. against Sonny Gray. Then Wednesday, another early evening start. It would be Keuchel and Tanaka, a rematch of game 1, and then, if necessary, back in Houston on Friday, that would be Severino's turn again. Against
Justin Verlander.
Nope.
Ball 2. Here's Gregorius. Clean spikes and all. Goes the short way. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Aaron Judge will bat second. He finally broke through here tonight. What a night in New York City. Lady Liberty all lit up, and it's an 8-0 game here in the Bronx. John, we saw some well-placed hits before the shots that we saw tonight.
Yeah, and like I said, it was harmless until what followed some of those soft hits for Charlie Morton. This is the one I thought was, I at first couldn't believe that he hadn't gotten closer to that ball. And the Yankees' night tonight. Offensively, you knew they were going to open up a little bit, feel better, and open up they did.
Top of the order for the Yankees. That means Gardner, Judge, and Gregorius. Aaron Judge will give you StatCast. It's powered by Amazon Web Services, and we watch him go back on a ball, bang into the wall, and then come in on a ball hit by Maven.
To me, for a big guy, that was a very difficult catch because coming in, diving head first, covers a lot of ground.
It'll bring in Brett Gardner, and it's Brett Gardner's grandmother's birthday. Miss Punky Russell turning 90 today, watching from Holly Hills, South Carolina. So Miss Punky Russell, this at bat is for you from your grandson Brett. Now, did you know, John Smoltz, that the person who occupied that seat that you occupy now, but he did it for 18 years next to me, Tim McCarver, shares a birthday with Brett's grandmother.
Really?
Here's a ground ball to the right side with a foul. Tim McCarver turns 76 today.
Oh, happy birthday, Tim.
My man. And Frankie Biederman. A baby girl, Brian Biederman, sharing the birthday with Miss Punky and Tim McCarver as Frankie Biederman. Congratulations, Beads. Wow. Brian from our crew on Fox Baseball does a great job. 2-1 pitch. In the air to center. Hard hit, but a loud out to start the bottom of the seventh. It'll bring in Aaron Judge. The home plate umpire, Gary Cederstrom, is wearing a microphone. Here's what he said when Aaron Judge made that catch in right.
I don't know what got hurt worse, the wall or him.
It's well said. That's what you said, John Smoltz. The wall probably the worse for the wear after the big 6'7" body of Aaron Judge slammed into it. That ball hit by Gurriel. Oof. There's the 0-1 pitch. Down and in. Kenny, this guy's a good athlete, isn't he?
He is, Joe, and his college coach at Fresno State, Mike Batesall, loves to tell a story about Judge's freshman year. Every year, Batesall organizes a 5-on-5 touch football league for his players. It's something to give him a break from their normal conditioning. The first time he saw Judge play in this league, field extended from right field to left field, Batesall could not believe his eyes. He said that Judge was a guy no one could catch. He showed Barry Sanders quickness and agility. That's the kind of athlete Aaron Judge is.
A breaking ball here for strike 2, 2-2. Barry Sanders. Come on, man. I got Mr. Detroit Lions fan in my right.
See how excited I got when I heard Barry Sanders?
He's long since hung it up. 2-2 to Judge.
Nope.
Down and away, a full count.
I'm telling you, you can put an unbelievable football team together just out of the Yankees. Betances, Judge, CC, Sanchez.
Their security guards.
Oh, man, never get to the quarterback.
Strikeout of Judge, and a nice job done by Colin McHugh to this point.
And that's not even taking in Matt Holliday, who used to be one of the biggest human beings, until he gets around some of his teammates.
Base is empty. Here is Didi Gregorius.
I asked Joe begrudgingly when I got into his office, when he was a player in '96, was there anything that Joe Torre, his manager, said, or any players said when they were down 2-0 to some team in Atlanta?
Yeah. They had
that I'm blacking out thinking about right now. He said, Joe Torre said, win one game. As simple as that. Just win one game. And then they did that and were able to win 3 more 1 games to knock us out. And that's pretty much the approach he had against the Indians. His team responded, and now he's asking his team to do the same thing. Win 1 game.
We're down 2-0 in a best-of-5 series and won 3 straight to get here. They were down 2-0. The lead here tonight in Game 3, 8-zip. 2-1 pitch to Gregorius is grounded to the right side. Altuve, piece of cake for him. That sends Game 3 into the 8th inning. The Astros will bat down by 8. Play Ball is MLB's initiative to inspire all forms of baseball and softball participation, making play opportunities available and fun for everyone. To learn more, go to playball.org. Cavaliers. Jerry and Stephen Jones. here at the old ball yard tonight. We go into the 8th inning, and Adam Warren back to work. Got around a leadoff walk in the 7th. Work to the heart of the order. That means Correa first up, and that zips in for strike 1. Warren kind of short arms the ball a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, he's just got everything's just kind of quick. It gets on the hitters. The sharp breaking ball gets on the hitters.
No.
I'm telling you, the Yankees are not shortage of guys who could on other teams be really high leverage pitchers. They've accumulated a lot of them for this kind of run.
A couple different stints for Warren with the Yankees. Is that strike 2 on a pitch up and away? And he most recently got him back in the Aroldis Chapman deal from the Cubs. And he was a part of the Starlin Castro trade the first go around. They like him. They like him for his versatility. Good piece to the puzzle for Joe Girardi. That's down and away, 2-2 on Correa. And obviously the Yankees traded away Chapman, then turned around and signed him as a free agent. That's a full count.
Well, so far, I mean, the Yankees are in a situation where you look back and go, what could have been in games 1 and games 2, but they lost both of those and really only gave up 2 runs to a really good offensive team, and they haven't given up any in game 3. So you got to like their strategy and how they've attacked this lineup. Their offense just didn't show up, and they did tonight.
Correa has a hit. That came his last time up in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. Gurriel and Gaddis, the next 2 hitters. An 8-0 game. Coming up on 11 o'clock in the East in our summary. Aaron Judge with a 3-run home run, his 2nd home run of this postseason. The other coming in the wild card game. The Yankees all 8 runs scoring with 2 outs, and Sabathia, his first career scoreless postseason outing. His 2nd postseason appearance, 21st start. That's something.
And those 2-out runs crush a team. They're magnified. They're when you're on the mound, you're doubly frustrated. And as we mentioned, the way they got on base, and then the homers.
Another 3-2 pitch from Adam Warren. Another foul ball off the bat of Carlos Correa. It will be at least a 10-pitch at bat as Tommy Kahnle, the right-hander, gets loose for the Yankees in their bullpen.
I'm intrigued. Tomorrow's start time. Not a time everybody's used to, but a time this crowd.
Here's one into center, sending Hicks back at the wall. 1 out. It'll be 5:08 local time. Coverage starts tomorrow at 4 Eastern here on FS1. And then game 3 of the Dodgers and the Cubs tomorrow night from Wrigley, with the Dodgers up 2-0. But Justin Turner with the walk-off 3-run shot in game 2 off Lackey. Career postseason average 377 for Turner.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. A lot of discussions today, I'm sure, and a lot of circles will be talking about Lackey being in there. Of course, everything micromanaged to the nth degree in the postseason and magnified.
2-0 here on Gurriel.
But the Cubs had to exhaust a lot of options just to get to that series, and they pitched great. They, along with the Yankees, didn't bring their hitting shoes on the road. See if they can do that tomorrow night.
Two-0 to Gurriel. He couldn't hold up. 2-1. Gurriel has hit in his first 6 postseason games. That streak on the line here. 0 for 3. Dellin Betances has joined Canely in the bullpen. Betances, an all-star setup reliever, has had a tough time with control. Command. When he's on, he is just nasty. But not one of the trusted few in that bullpen right now. Gurriel flies one into right center. Back is Hicks, 2 out. And with the bases empty, we'll tell you the ALCS on FS1 presented by Camping World, America's #1 RV retailer since 1966. And is sponsored by Hankook Tire. Chase down your passion, never halfway. By Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live Moss. This ballpark has been around since 2009. Here's a fly ball right side. Off the bat of Gaddis and into the glove of Bird. And that's 2 scoreless put up by the right-hander Adam Warren. We go into the bottom of the 8th. 8-0 New York. Welcome back to the ALCS, presented by Camping World on FS1. Bottom of the 8th inning. First up is Gary Sanchez. He'd like to get in on the fun. He's 0 for 3 in this game, 0 for 10. It's ALCS. It's inside from the cue, ball 1.
Yeah, he certainly would like to get him going a little bit. Feels so much better about moving deep into the series. Colin McHugh, by the way, has done a nice job eating up the rest of the innings for the Astros.
Back over our heads. 1 ball, 1 strike. These will be 2 rested and ready bullpens for game 4 tomorrow. Here's a 1-1 pitch from McHugh. Breaking ball by the bat of Sanchez.
That's the spot right there. Even further off the plate with 2 strikes is where Sanchez has now really expanded the plate. More than usual.
Fly ball into left. Back at the wall. It's Maben. As that ball dies on the track. Just got it down toward the end of the bat. Kevin Burkhardt, what's up in LA? All right, Kevin, thank you. With 1 out, nobody on in the 8th, it's Greg Bird. He was 1 for 3. He hit the double in the knockout inning that started the trouble for Charlie Morton. A ball that fell in front of Maben and left. Then with 2 out, a walk to Frazier. Headley got a hit that stayed the backside of the infield out at second base. After a hit batsman, a pitching change, and a 3-run shot. Followed a wild pitch, and the shot was off the bat of Aaron Judge. That made it 8-0. It's still 8-0. There's a 1-1.
Out.
Looks like we're going to be seeing Dellin Betances in the 9th.
Yeah, and hopefully for the Yankees, a much different version of Dellin Betances, because we talked about how great their bullpen has been, but there really hasn't been much mention of him because of some of the problems he had late in the year, and then of course a couple times already here in the postseason. Talking about the most devastating right-handed reliever there can be, and Betances that has been more mortal than normal, and if they can get him going.
3-2 pitch. That's outside. A 1-out walk to Bird. We'll give you our Hankook Tire dynamic play of the game. It was this. It still got Smoltz shaking his head up here to my right as that ball jumped out of here off the bat of Todd Frazier for a 3-run home run in the 2nd.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that is one where if you're watching it, and as Tom Verducci reported, even he, Todd Frazier, doesn't like watching it, but wow, what a big moment. 3-run homer, got this place going, and they haven't looked back.
Here's Starlin Castro, 1 for 3. Strike 1. If the Yankees win the American League, home teams would go to 11-2 this postseason. And overall, the home teams will be 18-6 this postseason. That's good news for the Cubs, who go down 2-0 as they head home. 0-2 now on Castro. Home teams, by the way, were 17-18 overall last postseason, so it's turned around.
Yeah, sure has, and I think the The game 3s are similar to game 1s in a best of 5. They don't have the same statistical category as far as when you win game 1 in a best of 5 versus winning a game 3. But they are the pivot. They are the teeter-totter to the series. You either get back in it or you take stronghold.
Breaking balls hook foul.
And so also game 3s usually set up the potential, not always the same starters for a game 7. But anytime you get into a series, a best of 7 series, you deal with storylines, you deal with the ups and downs. And as a player, literally, it sounds cliche-ish, but you really have to make it easier for the next guy that's going out there. And CC did that for Sonny Gray.
Yeah!
Castro strikes out, 2 out. Third strikeout for McHugh. And the batter will be Aaron Hicks. Switch hitting center fielder. He was 1 for 3 tonight. Astros in the 9th inning will have the bottom 3, Gonzalez, Reddick, and Maben. First 2 games of this ALCS so tight, so good. 2-1 finals each time as Hicks fouls one back and out of play. The pitching of Dallas Keuchel, the pitching of Justin Verlander. Too much for the Yankees tonight. Sabathia, who some have given up on a couple different times here in the last few years of his career. He's been nothing but money here for the Yankees down the stretch. What a terrific start he gave yet again. Hicks flies one into center. Springer has it, and that sends game 3 into the 9th inning. Betances looks like is coming out of the bullpen. Those bats are coming up. Gonzalez, Reddick, and Maben in an 8-0 game. The Yankees on top. Ninth inning, and Dellin Betances is into the game. His first pitch to Marwin Gonzalez is inside, ball one. Last time Betances got into a game, he took the loss in that game, game 2. They went extra innings at Cleveland.
Yeah, he pitched great for 2 innings and extended into the 3rd inning. Runner on first, and they stole second. Just a little extra work for that kind of game for Betances.
This has been his Achilles heel, trying to corral that great stuff into the strike zone as Didi Gregorius comes over from his spot to talk.
Yeah, it's becoming a bigger issue than he would want at the highest level and where the focus is the greatest. And there will be some work in the offseason, no doubt, going into spring training, kind of reset the mind and reset whatever mechanical changes he can make.
Starts with a 4-pitch walk.
And in an 8-0 game, I mean, this is the opportunity to see if he has figured some things out while he hasn't been in the game. And Larry Rothschild's going to go right away and maybe give one reminder to a tip that will help him. But he has so much confidence in his slider that when you can't throw your fastball for a strike, the hitters kind of confines you down to 1 pitch.
Eric Fisher will be the hitter. He bats for Reddick.
A little unorthodox in the way that he throws. He's so big and throws so hard, and that front side wants to go to first base faster sometimes than it should. That shoulder is no different than like looking down the barrel or looking straight towards the catcher. You want it going on plane with the catcher. And you'll see when he throws that does not exactly do that.
Derek Fisher gets a chance to hit here. Had a really good year at AAA. Played his first 47 Major League Baseball games over 2 stints with Houston. And that's not close. That's 5 in a row. Garcia was up, but Tommy Kahnle has taken over. Joe Girardi's not going to mess around with this. If Betances can't figure out the strike zone. There's a strike at 99. And literally a Bronx cheer.
Some people thinking most of it was started here at home. He's been pitching more effectively on the road, away from the attention of the home field.
Strike 2 on Fisher. Down and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Couple of interesting statistical notes I'll give you, but wait to see what happens during this at bat with Fisher and Betances. 3rd pitch of the night for the Yankees. 2-2. Full count.
You tell yourself as a pitcher, stay back, stay back, stay back, and you just can't fundamentally at times be able to do that. And as Sid, as big as he is and going downhill, that becomes the problem. And you can't aim. Aiming does nothing as a pitcher.
Back-to-back walks. And that's it. Well, they tried to give Betances a chance to show what he can do, and instead he issues back-to-back walks to start this 9th inning up by 8. or frustration for the All-Star. Right-hander will take over. That's Tommy Kahnle here in the ninth. A pair of 3-run homers tonight, one by Frazier, one by the rookie Judge. His 54th home run all in 2017. 8-0, 2 on, nobody out for Houston here in the ninth. And Kahnle is into the action with Cameron Maybin, the hitter. Fastball missing at 98. Ball 1.
Well, not what Joe wanted. He did not want to bring in Kahnle. But that's the circumstances now. And the Astros get to get another look at a guy who's been really good in the postseason.
Kahnle worked 2 days ago on Saturday. Here's a base hit into left. They will hold the runner at third. That's Gonzalez, and the bases are loaded. Back to the top of the order. That means Springer. And you know,
Here we go.
nothing comes easy in this game, and I'm sure the stomach is turning over for Joe Girardi down in that dugout. Tried to get Betances some work. He walked 2. Has to get Kahnle into the game. The batter is Springer. 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. Hit 34 home runs during the regular season. Takes a strike. Here's the 0-1 from Kahnle.
Well, the Astros as a team can really hit fastballs, but when they've done, the Yankees have done a nice job crowding a lot of the power hitting Astros in off the plate, making them uncomfortable. And as the series prolongs, being able to execute that game plan will be essential for the Yankees to keep them from scoring more than 2 runs.
Here's a 1-1. on the outside corner at 98. So you've got Canely in the game. Robertson stays put. Aroldis Chapman now has to get up and start getting loose. Here's a 1-2. 1 out. Springer strikes out for the second straight time.
Yeah, all that was a 91 or 92 mile an hour changeup. You don't see it very often at that velocity, but that's the combination that Canely has. An occasional slider, but primarily fastball and changeup. He had him out in front.
Now Bregman, 1 for 4, lined out his last time to Castro at second.
I think Bregman would be locked in on a first pitch fastball right here.
Takes first pitch fastball at 98. If the Yankees win, CC Sabathia would go to 10-0 this season after a team loss. The last American League pitcher to finish the season 10-0 or better following a team loss was the Yankee great Whitey Ford in 1961.
Was he any good?
He was good. Yeah. That's down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Meanwhile, if the Astros do lose, when we get together tomorrow, keep this in mind. The Astros have not lost back-to-back games in over a month. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Go back to when they lost 4 straight at Oakland, September 8th through 10th. So they know how to bounce back after a loss, and they finished the season tied with the Indians with 53 wins on the road. Best mark in the league. The 2-1 pitch from Canely. 3-1.
You never assume anything as a reliever, but you got to believe at 8-0. You're probably less inclined to think you may be in a game like this.
That forces home a run. It's an 8-1 game here in the 9th inning. 2 walks, a hit, the strikeout, and now a walk. This will go down, even if they don't win the game, as a minor win here in the 9th inning. They've had to. Talking about Houston, see Canely come out of the bullpen, and Aroldis Chapman's getting loose in what was an 8-0 game coming in. It's a 7-run game, and the bases are loaded with the 2 best hitters coming up, 1 out.
Yeah, you would never say this out loud in the Houston dugout, but right now they're like, get Chapman in this game. If you can get Chapman in this game, you're doing exactly what you mentioned earlier as a kind of a tiny win. And nonetheless, you don't score enough runs to tie it up. You get him in the game.
Strike 1 to Altuve. Those who remain on this cold night here at Yankee Stadium, those who are rooting on the Yankees, are stressed here in the 9th. Except for her. The 0-1 pitch. Ball and a strike. Strike 2, 1-2. Altuve is hitless tonight. 5 for 8 in the series coming in. Might be 2, and game over. Yankees win at a final of 8-1. And the Astros lead this ALCS 2-1. As the big rookie broke through tonight. In a 3-hour, 25-minute game, the Yankees are on the board in this ALCS. A run on 1 hit here in the 9th inning. 3 walks, ball game ends. Sabathia the winner, Morton the loser. 8-1 the final. Kevin, guys, all yours.